My name is Henry Gibson, 55 years old. I work at a major bank, shuffled off to the sidelines. That day, I was at a bar for the welcome party of the new branch manager from another branch. Away from everyone else, I drank alone. Then, the new branch manager, Ryan, approached. He said,
"Do you realize you're dead weight?"
I was suddenly confronted with such words by the new branch manager. He seemed quite drunk. Dead weight.
"Yes. You're holding our branch back."
Sorry. Just like the new branch manager said, I'm really not that great at my job. My sales performance is always just scraping by the quota. Given that, I couldn't really complain about being criticized.
You think a simple sorry will do? Ha, is that it? It's because you think that's enough. You're not good at your job. You have low awareness. You do realize you're being a burden, right? If so, there's more you should be doing, isn't there?
I kept getting cornered more and more. The new branch manager always had a domineering attitude, lecturing us. I knew he was like that, but I didn't realize drinking made him this much worse. And though he's my boss, he's younger than me. I felt it was unfair to be criticized to this extent, but I couldn't talk back to a superior. So, I'm sorry. I'll try to produce better results from now on. I said that. But the new branch manager isn't the type to let things slide just because of such words.
Try harder. What does that even mean? So you haven't been trying up till now?
No, that's not what I meant.
That doesn't make sense. If there's no way to try harder, how are you going to produce results? Don't just say things carelessly.
The new branch manager was getting more heated. The other employees were aware something was happening but pretended not to see. Naturally, if they sided with me, it would put them in danger. I'll do my best not to be a burden to everyone.
So what exactly does trying your best mean? Even a kid can say that. Tell me specifically how.
Specifically.
Yes.
Well, I'll try to visit more customers.
Huh? So you're saying you haven't been making an effort to expand your customer visits until now?
I have been trying, but...
Then that's pointless. Doing the same thing and expecting different results. Use your brain, old fool.
The branch manager's outburst made everyone else hold their breath. Silence fell, and all eyes were on me. What the new branch manager is saying isn't wrong. I admit there are parts where I'm at fault. But still, the verbal abuse is too much. Being scolded is one thing, but being called an old fool is another. I was starting to get angry. So, hey, don't you think that's a bit too harsh? I said to the new branch manager.
Huh?
I mean, there's a line between what you can and can't say, right? Then,
Don't mess with me. Who do you think you are?
the new branch manager raised his voice so it echoed throughout the bar.
Who are you to talk back? It's your fault for not delivering results. You're just a regular employee at your age. I'm younger than you and already a branch manager. That difference in position says it all. You're unnecessary to the bank. A burden like you shouldn't be talking back.
But I've been trying in my own way.
That doesn't matter. Tried? Don't make me laugh, idiot. Then show some results. This isn't school. How long are you going to act like a student at your age? Only children are praised for trying. Results are everything. I don't care about your useless effort.
Faced with such harsh words, I was silenced. Though what the new branch manager said was incredibly harsh, it wasn't entirely wrong. I do have my moments of being naive, that's for sure. Then, the new branch manager made an unexpected statement.
That's enough. We don't need a banker like you. An useless old fogey like you is fired as of today.
Fired? I was speechless at the unexpected declaration.
Of course. Can't do the job, defies superiors, and has no will to try. Not firing someone like that would be the real surprise.
Wait a minute, please. This is all happening too fast.
What's so sudden about it? Haven't you been failing to deliver results all this time? If anything, I've been patient.
But that's...
It's your fault for defying me. Got it?
Please, wait. I have a family to support. And then,
Shut up, you old fart.
while saying that, the new branch manager splashed his beer on me. I couldn't help but scream and fell backward.
I don't care about your family. A trash family is just a bunch of trash people. Why should our bank feed such trash?
If it were just me being insulted, I could understand. But calling my family trash is going too far. Yet, for the sake of my livelihood, I couldn't fight back. I was frustrated beyond words. Please, Ryan, reconsider. I begged his forgiveness. But no matter how much I pleaded, the manager's mind was unchanged.
If you come to the bank, I'll sue you for trespassing.
In the end, that's what the manager said to me, and all I could do was watch his back as he left. Meaning, I was indeed fired from the bank. The next day, I immediately started looking for a job. Finding a new job at 55 was going to be tough, but after explaining my situation to a friend, miraculously, I got a job at my friend's company. That gave me some peace of mind. I decided to work at my friend's company. But 5 days after the drinking party, things took a sudden turn.
Come over right now.
I got a call from Ryan saying just that. A call from the branch manager who hadn't contacted me at all for 5 days. He seemed to be in a hurry, said just that, and hung up. Maybe it's something about the resignation process, I thought, and headed to the bank. Upon arrival, I was told by other employees that the branch manager was in the special room, so I went there. Opening the door and looking around the special room, there were Ryan and another person, an elderly man. Daniel. The person there was Daniel, one of the customers I was in charge of.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has been a while. And then,
Henry, please take a seat over there for now.
the branch manager said to me with an unusually respectful demeanor. Despite the recent verbal abuse, I was completely confused but took a seat on the sofa anyway. So, what exactly is going on here? I asked, and Ryan started to speak.
You know about Daniel, right? He is a major customer for our bank. A very important customer.
That was true. Daniel's account held an incredible sum of $84 million. Daniel is the chairman of a major corporation. To our bank, he's undeniably a customer we wouldn't want to lose.
But Daniel has expressed a desire to close his account.
I gasped in surprise. If Daniel were to close his account, it would be a major incident for the bank. It wouldn't bankrupt us, but it would be a significant blow. If some disrespectful action of ours was the cause for the account closure, the responsible employee would be out of a job in an instant. Daniel, is that significant? I see. It's a major incident for the bank. But I'm no longer an employee of this bank. So while I was initially surprised, I was relatively unfazed. What I was more curious about was why I was called here. I understand that's a serious issue, but I'm not related to this anymore. Why was I called here today? I asked, and Ryan looked uncomfortable. Was there something difficult he had to say? Then,
Well,
Daniel started to speak. And then he dropped a bombshell.
the reason I wanted to close my account is because you were no longer here.
I was momentarily unable to comprehend the meaning of his words. Huh? I blurted out such a disrespectful response to Daniel. And then, what? When I finally understood the meaning, I couldn't help but raise my voice. Daniel was considering closing his account because I had been fired. I couldn't understand why Daniel would take such action. So, you're closing your account because I got fired?
That's right.
Because I'm not here?
That's what I've been saying.
Why? Why would you do that? Then Daniel smiled warmly.
The only reason I kept my account with this bank was because you were here. There's no other reason. So, if you're not here, I'll close the account. It's only logical.
Even with that explanation, I couldn't grasp it. Sure, when I was at the bank, I regularly visited Daniel's home and we chatted. But to say it myself, my talks weren't particularly interesting. I couldn't say anything clever or funny. I just listened to him. That's why I was always barely meeting my quotas. Being favored by Daniel to this extent was beyond surprising. And then,
So, here's the thing.
Ryan began to speak.
We had this meeting in hopes of convincing Daniel to reconsider closing his account, but he insisted on closing it. However, after repeatedly pleading, Daniel offered one condition.
A condition.
Yes, the condition was that you come back to work for us and become Daniel's personal banker again.
Hearing that, everything clicked. If I'm back, Daniel won't cancel his account. In other words, Ryan is asking me to work at the bank again.
Well, you won't find a better offer than this. After being fired, where else could you work, right? Plus, you're currently marked as AWOL, not officially fired. Your position is still there, so you can return to work anytime. Isn't that great? You should be thankful to Daniel.
Ryan proceeded as if it was a given I would return. But I had already decided to work at a friend's company. So, I never said I was coming back to the bank. I said that. Hearing my words, Ryan opened his eyes wide in surprise. Daniel, for some reason, burst into loud laughter.
Wait, what are you saying?
What do you mean? I said I'm not coming back.
Don't joke around. If you don't come back, Daniel will cancel his account.
Right.
Right? What do you mean, right?
Well, it's not really my concern anymore. After all, I was fired.
Huh? Didn't you say your family would be in trouble if you got fired?
I did say that.
Then come back. You won't find another job. If you don't return, your family will starve.
Actually, I've already found a new job. I'll be working at a friend's company. Hearing that, Ryan looked utterly baffled.
A friend's company?
Yes.
What are you going to do at such a place?
What do you mean, what will I do? I'll work there, of course.
No, that's not what I mean. The bank is more stable and pays better. It's obvious staying at the bank is better for you.
The salary I was offered is about the same, so no worries there. And you say the bank is more stable, but I was fired from this stable bank just because of a word from the branch manager. Doesn't sound stable to me.
That's
Ryan muttered, seemingly at a loss for words. And then
Henry,
Daniel began to speak.
were you fired for making some big mistake?
Mistake.
Yes, I heard from this branch manager.
My firing was due to not being good enough at my job. Still, I hadn't made any big mistake. Though it could be said my daily performance was full of mistakes considering my lack of skills. It's a bit different from the real fact. Mistakes. Well, I always make them, but nothing big.
I heard about a mispayment causing a huge loss to the bank.
No, that never happened. Based on my reaction, Ryan hesitantly spoke up.
I'm sorry. I may have exaggerated the story a bit.
Exaggerated.
Yes, when you said you would close your account unless Henry returned. Daniel, I tried to explain why he was fired by overemphasizing the reasons.
That's not just an exaggeration. That's a complete lie. You just thought if you made Henry out to be the bad guy, I wouldn't close my account, didn't you?
Daniel's accusation was likely correct. Indeed, Ryan was known for telling such lies.
I wouldn't say it's a lie, but, well, it's something like that.
Then Daniel let out a heavy sigh. His displeasure was evident. And then,
Do you understand why I'm saying I'll close my account?
Daniel asked Ryan.
Yes, of course. It's because Henry is no longer here, right?
That's the biggest reason, but not the only one. I've thought about closing my account because the higher-ups in this bank are the worst. An employee from my company once came here and received the worst treatment. As soon as they knew he didn't have much savings, they looked down on him and treated him poorly. The previous branch manager did the same, only sucking up to me. Just imagining such lowly staff coming to me stresses me out. That's why I thought about closing the account after Henry was fired. In other words, it's because of people like you, Ryan, that I'm closing my account.
Daniel said emphatically. Ryan looked down, unable to argue, and muttered a small sorry.
Then, is our discussion over?
Daniel said, trying to end the conversation. And then,
Wait, please.
Ryan said, stopping Daniel.
I'll somehow convince Henry. Just give me a little more time.
It seemed Ryan was desperate to keep me. Well, that's understandable. If Daniel closed his account, Ryan would not get off scot-free. He would have to take responsibility, possibly be transferred to a remote location, or in the worst case, be fired. At the very least, his chances for promotion would be gone forever. In other words, the only way for Ryan to survive at the bank was to keep me.
Henry.
Ryan asked me sweetly.
Hey, you understand, right?
Yes.
Come on, you know what I mean, right? Hey?
What exactly?
So, what I'm saying is, I'd really like you to stay at the bank. That's what I'm thinking, you know.
Huh.
It's not like it's a bad thing, you know. If you stay, Henry, you'll be a hero. You'll be the hero who kept Daniel's contract. A hero. Of course. We'll consider a position for you. I promise to give you a good position within my power. Then you get a better salary than going to your friend's company, right? If you stay at the bank, it's beneficial for the bank, for me, and for you too. You understand what the smart choice is, right? So, won't you come back to the bank?
I refuse. What? Ryan let out an absurdly surprised voice.
Why?
Well, I was just a burden here. You said so yourself when you fired me, remember? Since I'm just causing trouble for everyone, as you said, I think it's better if I'm not here.
No, that's not true. Everyone's waiting for you to come back. Of course, I've missed you terribly. I regret saying those things back then. Even if Daniel hadn't mentioned canceling his account, I intended to ask you to come back. I was just drunk at the time and said it in the heat of the moment. First of all, you can't fire an employee in such a setting at a drinking party. There was no official dismissal. What happened that day was like a joke. So come back.
I dislike that. Ryan's face looked like he was about to cry at my words. But that's all lies, right? Just because you were drunk. You really wanted me to come back. It's all lies, isn't it?
You can count on me.
Then why didn't you call me the day after the drinking party? You left me alone until Daniel came forward with his cancellation. That means you were just going to let me be a wall and then fire me, right?
Well, I was just busy.
Do you think I'm going to believe that? At that, Ryan fell silent. So that's how it is. I said that and was about to leave. When it happened,
Henry, please.
Ryan cried out in a voice akin to a scream, clinging to my legs. Hey, what are you doing?
I went too far last time. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. I apologize for everything. Please reconsider.
No, I don't want to work under you anymore.
Then come back and don't listen to me. You can do whatever you want. You can slack off, even sleep on the job. I'll turn a blind eye to everything. Just come back.
If I did that, I'd be disliked by the other employees and feel uncomfortable.
Then I'll give you money. Please.
No, I can't accept such money. Then Ryan let go of my leg and grabbed my hand and pleaded with me.
Please, I'm begging you. Come back to the bank.
I let out a heavy sigh. After saying all that at the bar, now that the situation has changed, this attitude, I somehow understood why Daniel didn't want to continue his contract with this bank. Please stop. You're just too selfish. You've always treated your subordinates with a high-handed attitude, never considering their feelings. You might think it's okay because you're the boss, but it's not. A boss like that will eventually be betrayed by their subordinates. Sooner or later, you deserve to be condemned. It just so happens that today is that day. Even if things somehow work out today, you will inevitably face divine retribution. It's all because of your usual attitude. Trying to apologize now and asking for forgiveness is too convenient. If you really want to reflect on your behavior, then accept this divine punishment. That's the best way to reflect. As I spoke, Ryan started to tear up. I thought he might be reflecting, but then,
My career. It's all going to waste.
he was muttering something like that. It seems he wasn't really reflecting. And then,
Daniel, please convince Henry.
Ryan, not ready to give up, sought Daniel's help.
But you know, I'm rather leaning towards canceling my account.
That can't be.
Besides, I can't change Henry's life based on my whim. If he's decided to leave the bank, I want to respect that decision.
Respect? What do you mean by that? He's totally incapable of working anywhere else.
I couldn't entirely deny that. But
Henry will be fine. He just wasn't suited for the bank.
Daniel reassured, and he looked at me.
Well, if it doesn't work out, you can come work at my company.
Really?
Yes, really. It's tough at my company too, but if you can handle that.
Thank you so much. An unexpected outcome. You would have thought after being fired from the bank, I'd find not just one but two job opportunities. Life is unpredictable. Daniel then stood up.
Well, it's gotten late today, so we'll handle the formalities another day. I have another appointment, so I'll be leaving now.
Hearing that, I also stood up. I'll be leaving too.
Daniel, Henry, please reconsider. I beg you.
Ryan was still trying to convince us right until we were about to leave the bank, but we ignored him and left.
I'm saying I'm sorry.
Ryan's voice, crying out in desperation, could be heard from behind, but Daniel and I didn't look back and left the bank.
Want a ride?
As we were about to part ways outside the bank, Daniel offered. Having things I wanted to discuss, I replied, would that be okay, and got into Daniel's car. And then, why did you go above and beyond to support me like that? After a while, I asked Daniel. Daniel had said he would close his account if I left. But I hadn't done anything special for Daniel. Just visited his home occasionally to chat. Then,
My family. They all died in an accident.
Daniel began with that story. Apparently, Daniel's son and wife had died in an accident, and with his parents also gone, he was completely alone.
Talking with you was my pleasure.
While other bank employees were flattering Daniel, pushing investments, I was the one who listened without flattery, and once he turned down the investment talk, I never brought it up again. Being able to have normal conversations was something Daniel treasured. I see. While just listening without pushing sales might not seem fitting for a bank employee, if it was a solace for Daniel, then I was glad to have done so. So, then, let me visit your home again. This time, not as a bank employee, but as a friend.
Thank you.
Daniel said tearfully. Then he drove me home, and I returned to my house.